So I've read this comic 3 times now, and I still don't really know what's going on, but I like it. Yo-ho, I'm Kurt Williams, and today we're talking about issue 1 of Bear, Pirate, Viking, Queen by Sean Lewis and Jonathan Marks Barravecchia. So this 72-page absolute accomplishment of the medium was overshadowed by Blood Hunt, which came out the same day, and Blood Hunt is pretty good, but this is a real piece of art. It's a little hard to explain, but the main gist of the story is you have this main character who used to be in the Queen's Navy sometime in probably the 16 or 1700s. His ship gets attacked by pirates. He has a near-death experience where he sort of goes insane, and then he becomes a pirate himself. And while he's going around being a pirate and doing piratey things, he comes across this spooky Viking witch doctor group, and this thick 10-foot-tall Viking guy who could snap Dwayne Johnson in half somehow gets on the boat, and then the story switches narratives so that that's the guy we're now following. The overall plot is so far somewhat inconsequential. What we're really here for is to see this guy going mad and really feel the poetry of the situation. When this guy is attacked by pirates at the beginning and has his near-death experience, he sees this bear, and it's unclear what the bear is. The bear probably isn't real, like there's not really a bear living on this pirate ship with the guy. But we don't know if the bear is just a figment of his imagination because he's going crazy, or if it's like a metaphor, or if anybody else can see the bear. Or I think that there's at least passable evidence that the bear is supposed to represent God. Or maybe the bear is an extension of nature itself. Nature is trying to communicate this sense of ferocity to whoever will listen. And maybe this dude that we're following has just become a vessel for the will of nature itself. I don't know. One of the coolest parts in the story is when the Viking is attacking this main guy on his ship. And we've gotten used to this guy and his bear going into battle together. They're like a team. It's cool. So when this terrifying Viking shows up on the guy's ship, he's like, no worries, he'll just get mauled by my bear. But then we see that the Viking almost seems to already have a better relationship with this bear than the main guy does. And then we really don't know what the bear is. It seems to me that by the end of the issue, the bear has transferred from the pirate guy over to the Viking guy. And we know that the Viking is on his way to England with the bear, just like the pirate was on his way to England with the bear. So now it's starting to look like the bear wants to get to England, and he's gonna take along whoever he has to get there. So I reckon, because the title of the comic is Bear, Pirate, Viking, Queen, the bear is the main character, and in this first issue we dealt with the bear being with the pirate. In the second issue we'll have the bear with the Viking, and in the third issue we'll have the bear with the Queen. And I'm really curious about what that's going to look like, because the narrative of this story so far has been decidedly anti-British because colonialism, you know? But it almost seems too obvious that the bear would be representing nature and wants some kind of vengeance against modern civilization, in particular the Queen, because she represents high society. So what I'm saying is I think it would be way too obvious for the bear to finally get to the Queen and then kill her or something. I feel like the bear is going to have a much more complex relationship with the Queen. I think the bear wants something that we can't foresee yet, and the Queen is the only way for the bear to get that thing. But I'm just really speculating at this point. There are some comics that I feel are out of my depth, and I don't want it to sound like I know exactly what's happening, and this comic is definitely out of my depth. I feel like I have to just be along for the ride and see where this takes me. Like, I don't fully have my head wrapped around it yet, and that's really exciting. It's comics like these that make you reconsider the capabilities of the medium, as well as what kind of ideas belong in this format. The art that we have in this issue is so emotional and expressionist and raw. It's changing from page to page. It of course looks like we have influences from Bill Sienkiewicz or maybe Ashley Woods, whoever it was who illustrated Dead Romans. It also looks a lot like that art. But some of these splash pages are just inspired. Look at these two boats colliding with each other. That is beautiful. Or this double page splash of storm clouds. Wow. On this page, one of the pirates is talking about stories that his mother used to tell him when he was a child, and we have a kind of mixed media thing going on down here. I see a bunch of references to other things, including Little Nemo and Slumberland, but I don't recognize the other ones. And down in that bottom corner, we have some kind of 3D object. I don't really know what that is. Is it like a spyglass or a part of a gun? I don't know. Look at this boat sinking into a whirlpool. We could break that down for hours going over every single detail and every choice made there. We've also got great use of negative space as well as texturing. These two pages right here that are just white seem to have a paper texture to them. Of course they don't, because comics don't get printed with texture anymore, which is lame, but they printed it to look like it has texture, and that makes it feel like more of a physical experience. Another thing that I really love about this comic is the narration style. We have all these crazy things going on, all this really emotional artwork, and every time there's a voiceover or an inner monologue monologue, it's very calm and small. Like we're dealing with these massive topics like purpose and spirituality and vengeance, but the words are printed so small, so out of the way, almost as if they're being whispered. And it's also a precise economy of words. There really aren't any extra ones. We're not getting a ton of information we don't need. It's minimal wording at minimal size, but there's so much power behind all of them, and because it's small, conveying that much power just makes it even better. This comic has the confidence to know that it's talking about something tangible and important, and it doesn't have to cram it down our throats. It's just there being available to us. So the scripting is amazing, the layouts are amazing, the art itself is mind-blowing, the lettering is amazing and seamless, and it makes sense that all the lettering fits in with the art so well because the artist also did all the lettering, which honestly seems like something that more comics should do because it just makes it look more cohesive. This comic is great, it's cinematic, and it's perfectly paced, and it's challenging, honestly. I absolutely recommend picking it up for yourself. That's why I'm not really giving away too many specific details, because I want you to be able to enjoy it for yourself. And I know it came out more than a week ago, so I really don't have to worry about spoilers, but it's great. I want you to read it the first time for yourself. And for 72 pages, it's only $5, so it's a great bang for your buck. So I'm gonna rate issue 1 of Bear, Pirate, Viking, Queen. Honestly, anything less than a 10 out of 10 feels kinda unfair. This comic is well thought through, a beautiful piece of art, clearly pushing the boundaries of the medium. It's, well, it's pretty good. So make sure you get your copy of issue 1, make sure it's on your pull list so you get issue 2 and issue 3, and if you read it, what did you think?